So did you know that the moon rock that we presented the Prime Minister of the Netherlands after the moon landing in '69 actually came out to be a fake piece of petrified wood? I'm not making this up. I kid you not. Yeah, an expert saw the rock in the museum. He didn't think it was real. Had it identified the moon rock as petrified wood. So the one piece of empirical or physical evidence, the moon rock, turns out to be fake. Everything else we were shown, from the takeoff, the launch, the relaunch, driving a moon buggy around the moon, all could be recreated on Earth. Nothing there that could not be recreated. The one thing would be the moon rock. And it comes out that it's petrified wood. I mean, what else what else needs to happen before you realize something ain't right?
This is what it feels like at 65 miles an hour. I can feel the wind, I can hear it, and I can see the effect.
And here we are, supposedly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, yet I don't hear anything, I don't feel anything, and I don't see any spin. So my senses tell me we're not spinning. That's science.
Let's just address one important question that I hear all the time. Right here. Why would they lie about the shape of the Earth? I mean, this is just a few things, okay? You could just pause to check this out. These are just a few things. Everybody has their own reasons, first and foremost, but I'm going to get into some of mine, okay? Today we're going to talk about boats going over the horizon, all right? A lot of people, even myself, believed that that was a globe Earth proof. And though it does have validity, I want to show you some other explanations that changed my mind. Let's get into it. Now, there's plenty of examples like this one, but this one is very good, and I'll show you why. Ships over the horizon? No, not at all. Look at these waves that you're seeing right here. They're actually a lot closer than the actual water that's underneath this boat. Look how the boat comes up, where you'd say, oh, look, it's going over the curve. Look at that. But you can actually start to see the bottom, like literally underneath this boat when it's bobbing up and down. The waves cause a false horizon, exactly right. So again, if you pay close attention, you can actually see underneath the boat right there. Impossible if it were going over the curve. Absolutely impossible. Alright, if you take a look here, you can see this boat coming in. They're even under, look at past the curve, but they're way closer than these other ones, and they're still over the curve, right? No, not right at all. Not right at all. It's just an illusion. It's the way that the waves work. Angular resolution, folks. Go follow this. Go do this. Alright, here's another video that I highly suggest. Right here. Check it out. We're going to go over this. Is it a physical Earth curve edge that you're seeing? Or is it more of an illusion? We're about to take a look right now. What is happening here? Where's the rest of it? Earth curve does not exist is exactly right. Exactly right. You'll learn this too the more you start looking into it. There's tons of videos like these. Plenty of them. Look at this boat here. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. What in the world? Is that boat floating? I thought he was going over the curve. My answer's no. Absolutely not. I also hear a lot of people say, flat Earth doesn't make any sense. It never did to me either, until I looked into it and learned more about it. I can only show you the door. It is you who has to take that step through it. Are you brave enough? Stay flat, my buds.
For just one time, can one of you unfocused star people make a video of a focused star using your camera, using your telescope? Please? But let's go to this gas situation, okay? Stars like our sun are made of ionized gas known as plasma. So, to begin with, plasma would not exist without gas, mainly hydrogen, okay? They use the gravitational forces to accumulate enough pressure to create ionized fusing gas to create plasma. So without gases, there wouldn't be no plasma. Ah, man, people these days are just... I just don't know what.
What could be so large in the North Pole where they say it's all water that literally interferes with the jet stream? Before we start, this is all speculation. There's no facts, just words. Let me show you something, and after that we'll talk.
North Pole update check which happened, and they found that there was this dot here in the North Pole which was causing this effect happening here, and it was literally affecting the jet stream. This huge solid object was preventing the winds itself from travelling over thousands of miles here over, I think this is Greenland? Yeah, showing this dot here right in the centre of the Earth. From a northern pole perspective, had changed the jet stream, so the warm air was no longer coming here to the south over America, causing an extreme dip in temperatures while this anomaly was happening. Bizarre. Something was messing with the jet stream in the North Pole.
Again, when you go on Google Earth, it literally just shows an empty ocean, but older maps don't show that. But before we get to that, why don't we ask why in the 60s there's a picture actually taken of this area and it's all blacked out. So this is the 1595 Mercator map. Obviously they knew something. They have Asia up here, they have Russia down here, United States over here, and Greenland. And look how close Greenland is. But what are these 3 or 4 bodies of land right here? And in between there's a giant mountain that they say is magnetic. Like, you know, magnetic north. And funny enough, that seems to be where all this color always comes from, you know, the North Pole. If you want to know my opinion, I believe this is where the Garden of Eden is. The reason being is because God said it's still on this earth. He never removed Eden from the earth. He removed Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And furthermore, he's guarding the Garden of Eden with a flaming sword and angels. But let me show you something weird. Wow, so in the middle of recording this, I just got a huge revelation. 2 nights ago, I was messing around on Google Earth. If you click the North Pole, it'll take you to a random place. Look where it took us. To a church. With Jesus. I want you to notice this place, by the way. It's not a place that would have an actual camera set up to record. So it makes no actual sense, right? But everything that is in this world, there is no coincidences. There's reasons for everything. So you click the North Pole, it'll take you to random pictures. Like a different one I'm about to show you. Now watch, we're going to do it again. We're going to click the North Pole and it's going to go to a random place. This time it goes to a forest. But I think it's very odd it went to Jesus the first time, having to do with the Garden of Eden. Obviously our modern day is crap. I believe this one.
So it's time to finally address this because I get this comment a lot. And it goes, what does the shape of the earth have to do with our faith? Or my personal favorite from another commenter, who cares if it's flat? The economy's still trash. True, love that. So what does the shape of the earth have to do with our faith? Everything. First, it's important that we believe in biblical cosmology and geography because God's word affirms it. Second, we need to remind ourselves that we fight not against flesh and blood, but against rulers, principalities, kingdoms, and nations. You may know these entities as the Nephilim or the Anunnaki, but in this world they're known as industry gatekeepers. Here's the part that you've been waiting for. Their main objective is to invert and pervert the truth, and they've been doing it since the beginning of time. Remember in the garden where the serpent convinced Eve that God didn't say they couldn't eat from the fruit, and surely that they would not die? Well, now the new seed of doubt is, did God really create the heaven and the earth? And surely it's not flat. And somehow we tasted it, we swallowed it, we ingest the lie, and there it sits in the bottom of our stomach, just not sitting right. So you may ask, why the big lie? Why the big universal rewriting of history? Well, are you sitting down? Well, if the enemy can get you to disconnect from your divine heritage and have you believe that you're insignificant, floating around on a spinning rock indefinitely in outer space, and that your God, whatever's left of him after their influence, doesn't care about you and is sitting 1,000,000 miles away in heaven, well, then he can control his whole world. So no, I'm not really here to debate the shape of the earth. I'm here to remind you what his word says, that he's not far away forgetting about you. In fact, his throne sits just on the other side of the dome, that he uses the face of the earth as his footstool. And the best part is that it's you, not the sun, not the solar system, but it's you who's the center of the universe. So that's why we debate the shape of the earth, so you don't continue believing a lie.
I just watched a live stream from Mike Explained, where he was proceeding to insult flat earthers for trying to explain the flat earth model and ask questions. And his response was, you don't believe we live on a spinning ball that goes around the sun? You need to take an astronomy class. I'm wondering if it occurs to him that the people that teach astronomy are teaching the heliocentric model, and we're saying the heliocentric model is wrong because it's an inversion of the geocentric model. We're not saying it's wrong because none of it makes any sense. Like, it does make sense that if you're on a ball, that you would see something disappear as it goes over the ball. What we're saying is that's not what is happening, okay? We understand astronomy. I do. I took astronomy. I understand it. That doesn't mean it's right. It means that theory, the whole construct that they've come up with, is cohesive to them. They have to come up with the math to explain their shit because it can't be explained any other way. So they have to theorize. See, no one's ever proven we live on a spinning ball. No one's ever proven it. So, Mike, I'm asking you, have you proven that we live on a spinning ball? Because there are very smart people who have proven that we live on a stationary plane, like Airy's failed experiment, etc. We're not spinning. Einstein said you can't prove we live on a spinning ball. So, if you've proven that, please, by all means, share it with us instead of sitting there insulting people and telling them they need to take astronomy classes. By the way, I've been studying this for 15 years, and before this was even a thing, and people are saying the flat earth theory is a CIA, PSYOP, and all that. No, the ancestors knew that we lived on a flat plane. They told you in their mythologies and things and their drawings. The Tibetans called mandalas frozen sound because they understood frequencies. Like, they drew a picture of the Om symbol, right? Before anybody knew what that meant. And then only recently we've done cymatic experiments that show you a vibrating platform with sand on it at a specific frequency reveals the Om symbol. So how did they know that? Because they weren't stupid. That's how they knew it. Our ancestors were very smart. Have you seen the buildings, the architecture that they have constructed? They had to know a lot of shit to do that. They had to know physics and math. And so they're the ones that believed we lived inside of a torus field and that there are many realms. So let me try to explain that to you. A torus field is an electromagnetic field that's kind of shaped like a donut. At the bottom of the donut is the material plane, where matter coalesces or compresses at the densest point. All states of matter find their respective places within a given medium. And there's a central vortex, so all the energy is moving in a spiral at the top, goes through, and there's a spiral at the bottom, so it's a double donut sort of thing. This is called a primer field. Now, or an electric or magnetic field, electromagnetic. It's electrostatic. Our world is electrostatic. It's not just something called gravity that we can't explain. We can explain it. We can explain how everything moves down. But if you don't ever research it for yourself and you just say everybody's stupid that's trying to explain it to you, that just makes you look stupid, not me. So I'm saying if you really want to understand something, that's one thing. You should ask questions. You should learn as much as you can about the flat earth theory so that when you do have a conversation, you have an intelligent response to it. And you can say, no, that's wrong because of this, this, and this. But if you just regurgitate the heliocentric model, we already know that. I know the heliocentric model. We're not saying that the heliocentric model, for example, that if you have stars in the southern hemisphere that look like they're spinning, okay? Yeah, it also applies to the flat earth model. See, star trails can be explained with the heliocentric model and the flat earth model. All kinds of phenomenon can be explained with both of these models. I can't say that enough. I have said it many, many times, and people just still, they don't get it. They're not listening. The two models can explain the same phenomenon. So it's not that the flat earth model is wrong or stupid. It's that only one of these models applies to your reality. So you can't just say, no, the flat earth model is wrong because ships go over the curve. That just really is stupid to say that. That's not what we're talking about. Copernicus came up with the math to support the inverted model. The heliocentric model is an inversion. And these people that run the Vatican run everything else in the world. They're the ones that control the education system. So you're only told what they tell you is the truth. And if they tell you that the reverse of something is true, you're going to believe it because everything adds up within that reverse system, that model. It makes sense, it's logical, except for the fact that the heliocentric model is flawed and that gases, for example, have to sit next to a vacuum, cannot sit next to a vacuum unless they are contained. And yet that's exactly what they're telling you is happening on our world. And then you ask them, how is that possible? And they say, oh, gravity. And what's gravity? We don't know. Okay. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. That's the difference. In the heliocentric model, they make claims that defy their own physics, whereas the flat earth model is eloquent and explains everything without fudging shit and making up excuses and reasons for why it's the truth. And when scientists say, well, we're 99% positive that the heliocentric model is the truth, they're asking you to have faith that they're right. When they condemn you for having faith in anything else and tell you it's not okay to think the earth is flat. Well, you know what? It is okay because you can think whatever you want. Mike, you can think whatever you want. I don't care what you believe. But I am telling you that when you ridicule other people and tell them to go study astronomy, that just makes you look ignorant. Because, like I said, we're telling you that the people that are teaching astronomy are teaching the inversion of the model that we're telling you is the actual truth.
The flat Earth map dates back over 1,000 years. This map is credited to being created by a Persian astronomer. His name was al-Biruni, and he lived from 973 AD to 1048 AD. It's the official map of the United Nations and also of the United States Geological Survey. It used to be present in many places before the creation of NASA and the Antarctic Treaty in 1959. Here you see it with Admiral Byrd. This map has been restored by Dmitry from Russia with suggestions of mine, Eddie Alankar, known by my YouTube channel Flat Earth Banjo. I asked Dmitry to include the Bermuda Triangle and Point Nemo, a place deep in the Pacific Ocean where NASA buries rockets. Then Robert Tozzi, a professional map maker, came along and enhanced the map even more. There are many people now selling this map online, but if you could order it from my online store, I would greatly appreciate it. Visit my store now and order one of the items. I humbly thank you.